Welcome friends! Today we are whipping up $1,000,000 spaghetti. This is a baked spaghetti casserole and it is guaranteed to feed a very hungry family, including the kids. Today's recipe is dedicated to all those busy moms out there who are desperate for a dinner recipe their kids will actually eat complaint-free. $1,000,000 spaghetti is a baked spaghetti casserole and it comes with a hearty, meaty marinara sauce, spaghetti noodles, Parmesan cheese, and a layer of melty mozzarella. I started with a big pot of boiling water, then added salt, followed by some broken up spaghetti noodles. Then you'll just drain the pasta, and now I'm gonna show you how to prep it. Add the spaghetti to a big bowl. Now what we're gonna do is crack into a couple eggs. Break them up. We've got some melted butter here. We'll just pour this over the spaghetti noodles, followed by the egg that we whisked up. And now for the Parmesan cheese. This is about a cup of grated Parmesan. You're just gonna mix all of these ingredients up. The next thing we're gonna do is prep a couple of ingredients for the sauce. This sauce is crazy easy to whip up, so I don't want you to be intimidated by the thought of a homemade marinara meat sauce. You're only gonna have to do a little tiny bit of chopping for this sauce, and it's gonna start with a yellow onion. So we'll just crack into this onion, and now we're just dicing it up. A good medium-sized dice is probably all you need. The only other thing you're gonna wanna chop up for your sauce is a little bit of fresh basil. Now, if you are low on time, you can absolutely sub in a jar of store-bought marinara here. But this sauce is so easy to make and so full of fresh flavors thanks to these fresh ingredients like the onions, the basil, and then we've got a really good high quality can of crushed tomatoes. So that's done. For the next part of the recipe, we're gonna move it over to the stovetop. Grab yourself a large saucepan and we're gonna heat it up over medium-high heat. As soon as the pan comes to temperature, you'll add 1 pound of ground beef along with that yellow onion that we chopped up. You'll cook that ground beef and the yellow onion together until the ground beef is completely cooked through. Then you'll add in your crushed tomatoes, followed by a simple spice blend of kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Next, granulated sugar is going in. This granulated sugar is really going to round out the sauce and help remove any bitterness left behind from the tomatoes. Last but not least, we'll add in that fresh basil and we'll just let it simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes just to let those flavors blend for a sec, and we'll bring it all together back here at the counter. To top off my casserole, I'm gonna use a fresh mozzarella cheese. Now, if you'd prefer, you can use a pre-shredded, low moisture mozzarella and that would be totally fine. But I will say this on behalf of fresh mozzarella cheese. There is nothing like it. The texture is pillowy soft and it melts so deliciously over the top of any casserole. That being said, there are some extra steps that you'll have to take if you're going to use it, but I promise they're well worth it. I'm just gonna cut into my little ball of cheese here. The thing about fresh mozzarella is it has a really high water content. So before you can add it to a baked dish, especially if you're topping off a casserole with it, you have to get some of that moisture out. So we do this by simply laying it on a paper towel, taking a second set of paper towels and just gently pressing it. And we're just gonna repeat this with the rest of the cheese. Now it's time for the assembly process. You won't believe just how easy this is. All you have to do is take your sauce, pour it right over your spaghetti noodles. Now we're coming in with the secret ingredient, cottage cheese. What the cottage cheese does is it adds moisture to the casserole, not so much flavor. It's really gonna take on the flavor of spaghetti. And then what you'll have left behind are these delicious little bites of cheese curds all throughout, and it is so yummy. Mix it all together. Okay, in goes the whole shebang, 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. This casserole dish has an enamel coating, so I don't have to use nonstick cooking spray. If yours doesn't have that, just give it a good spritz before you add the filling. Now for that cheesy topping, you just wanna add a healthy layer of mozzarella cheese to the top. We've got it all covered. To finish it off, some grated Parmesan cheese just right across the top here. Pop it into the oven, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Okay, we're all finished in the oven and this cheese topping is looking completely irresistible. Let's see if we can get a close-up of this for you guys. Now, if you want to know a food blogger's secret to getting those gorgeous little brown caramelized bits across a cheese topping, it's the broiler. After that 30 minutes is up, is pop the broiler on high. Do not step away from the oven. As soon as you see that cheese start bubbling up and it's barely starting to brown across the top, then you can pull it and voila, that's all there is to it. Now the very last touch, it's completely optional, but I'm just gonna come over here and just roughly chop some basil leaves. And to add just a little bit of freshness and color, sprinkle some right across the top here. Get ready to put this casserole on your regular recipe rotation. It's going to provide you with lots of complaint-free weeknight dinners. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in the kitchen. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're gonna make this casserole, I wanna hear all about it in the comments below. And if you have suggestions for some more dinner time casseroles to add to our recipe lineup here at the Anthony Kitchen, I'd love to hear about that as well. Remember, you can always get the full written recipe at theanthonykitchen.com, and I'll go ahead and link to that below. Remember, if you want to keep up with us on YouTube, to click that bell, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.